Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Joyful Journeys as we celebrate our 25th anniversary in Northern Virginia. Today, I am joined by Katelynn Argo. Welcome, Katelynn.
Hello, thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
I am so excited to talk to you about your Girls on the Run journey and what you're up to now and how it all connects. So, why don't you kick us off? Just tell us a little bit about your Girls on the Run journey, where you started, and where you are now.
Yeah, so I participated in Girls on the Run between 2012 and 2015. So I was between fourth and sixth grade at that time. I started Girls on the Run just because I had this innate love for running that I needed some outlet to use it for. And so when I started the program, it was just on a whim. I saw a flyer in my elementary school, and my parents were like, let's sign you up for it. And then that took me on a whole journey. But yeah, I was a participant between those years. And then at the end of 2015 into 2016, I was a junior coach as well because I just wanted to stick around with it. And now I currently actually work with kids in a very similar fashion at Big Blue Swim School. So we teach kids on a larger spectrum between 3 months and 12 years old how to swim and really build their confidence in the water and to really unlock their full potential. So
I love that connection that you made. That is perfect. And it's so cool how that pattern has kind of followed you from being in their shoes as a participant to helping out and now to doing that as your job.
mhm.
Very cool. Well, tell us a little bit more about your time as a participant. Do you have any favorite memories? What do you remember from your time?
So I definitely remember a lot. So when we did Girls on the Run, so we had at my elementary school, it was kind of an elementary school and middle school combined, and we did all of our practices in our little bus loop. So that was, I very fondly remember it going from gravel to pavement, which made it a lot easier to run on. But other than that, I mean, I just remember really my self-confidence went up extremely during that time. I remember I had just moved from New Hampshire to Florida, and so I was still a new kid at this school. My fourth grade year was my second, almost, well, I was about a year and a half into school at that point in this new school. And I got to meet a lot of new people, and I made a lot of great connections through that. One of my best friends at the time, we stayed best friends through high school, but we did the program together, and that really helped me kind of find my groove in this new environment. So that, yeah, those are probably some of my fondest memories from that time. So
That is so special that you were able to meet someone and stay friends for so long, and that you just kind of, it sounds like you clicked right away and you
yeah,
just kind of built on that.
yeah, there was not any point during the program where I felt out of place. Like it just felt like I immediately clicked with my coaches and the other participants at that time. Like it just felt like I was finally a part of something in a team. And at that point, it was my first time actually doing something like that. I had done like the brownies, like the what you do before Girl Scouts. I did that for like a week, but then we moved. And so this was
Oh,
really my first time participating in something that was, about, growing as an individual and being part of a team. So that was really exciting to, start that. And especially with Girls on the Run. So
yeah, it sounds like it kind of came at the perfect time for you.
definitely.
Well, what do you remember about your coaches? Do you have any fond memories involving them?
I do. Yes. I actually, so this must have been my second or third season. One of my favorite elementary school teachers, her name was Miss Hicks. She ended up coming on as a coach with us, and I was like, yes, this is amazing. It's my favorite teacher who now gets to participate in something that I've been telling her about every day in class. But she definitely made the experience so much more enjoyable. It was so nice to see someone that I connect with on a daily basis outside of just the classroom. And she got to share with me a lot of, her personal experience with running, and also how to connect that with growing up as, a girl, and how to, understand how to navigate different stages in your life. And so that was really exciting to get to build that with her.
Oh, that is so special. I love that.
I know my like, oh, it makes me want to tear up. I loved Girls on the Run. It was such a good experience for me. So
That makes me so, so happy to hear.
Oh,
Have you talked to this teacher since then?
I haven't. So I moved again in at so like my freshman year of high school, so like 2017. So the last time I saw her was with Girls on the Run. So I haven't talked to her since then because I moved to Virginia, which is now where I am and where I teach kids now, but she definitely was a big impact on me, both in the classroom and also through Girls on the Run. So
Oh, that is so, so sweet. Oh my gosh. I feel like I could cry just listening to
I
that. That's
know,
special.
seriously. It's like unlocking so many memories for me.
Oh, I love that though. All right. Well, now fast forward a little bit. When you're in high school, what inspired you to go back as a junior coach?
So I absolutely loved the program, and all of the coaches that I had stayed at that point. And so they kind of encouraged me. They were like, you have this just innate ability to lead, which I have a very strong personality, and anyone that you talk to that knows me will definitely say the same thing. And so it just kind of fell naturally that, I should go back and support this group that has done so much for me. And I remember when they brought me on as a junior coach, they gave me my first running watch. It looked like it came from a cereal box, but it definitely didn't. But it was this clunky little pink watch, but I loved it. And it was so sweet. And I remember because at that point I'd only been like one season removed. And so like a lot of the girls that were there, like on the older end, were people that I had ran with. And so they made me little ornaments and like that said Girls on the Run, like junior coach on it, which I still have and still put on my Christmas tree every year.
Oh,
But yeah, so and I remember just that was where I started my leadership skills. And I mean, it's taken me to where I am today, which is a general manager at a swim school, working with kids. Never thought I'd get to this point, but here I am. And that was really like my foot in the door of like how to be inspiring for other people. And the junior coach program really helped me do that. So
and that is exactly why the junior coach program exists.
yeah.
For that reason, to help kids, like you said, unlock your natural leadership skills, trying to find your place, can continue to boost your confidence past the program. And it sounds like you nailed it. Like it lined up
Yeah,
perfectly for
it
you.
did. Yeah.
Do you, as a junior coach, what was it like recently having been a participant, but now in that leadership role? Do you feel like you were able to really kind of put yourself in the participant shoes and kind of know either what to say or what to do in certain situations or how to motivate them since you had just been there?
Yeah, no, definitely. It was like a full circle moment just in that, like being in that place. Cause I know like I had worked with girls who I had run with previously who were just a little bit younger than me. But then we also had a bunch of new girls coming in. And so that was really where I got to shine and, helping all these younger girls who I'd never met before feel part of that same community that I had been a part of and help them feel motivated. And a lot of like what we did was try to orient, our curriculum or whatever we were doing that week to something that we could all connect on. So like our when I was a junior coach, we were all big on Marvel and superheroes. And so a lot of, what we did, whether it be like I have pictures from our it was when we did our seasonal 5K at the end, this celebration one, and we all decided to wear and make our own capes. And that was part of one thing that I did as a junior coach was, put that idea out there. And so I have now there are definitely embarrassing pictures, but it was really sweet to be able to do that. So
That's such a special idea and just be able to make that happen. I love that. Oh, that is so, so cool. And I bet a bunch of those kids who, I mean, now they're not exactly kids,
yeah.
but I bet a bunch of them still have that cape and it's probably so special to them.
Yeah, it definitely, I don't even remember what, we just got like it was like this white fabric and we got this puff paint. And I remember very vividly doing it in my favorite teacher's classroom after school. And we were all sitting there doing our little puff paint and, designing it however we wanted. But yeah, I don't even know if I still have mine because we've moved so many times, but I
Yeah.
definitely have the pictures of it because I was very proud of it.
Oh. That is so, so sweet. My goodness. All right. Well, we're going to fast forward a little more to where you are now as
Yes.
you're at Big Blue Swim School. So what as your manager, what either comes up daily or occasionally that kind of connects you back to Girls on the Run?
Yeah, so as like a general manager here, a lot of what I do, so thankfully I still get to be in the water once a week with the kids. That is where it's my favorite day of the week. It's always on Tuesdays. And that's where I get to kind of bring back, finding that passion for just doing something. Now, whether it be running or swimming, or because I wasn't even a swimmer, obviously, I was a runner. And once I got into the swim world, it really brought me back to Girls on the Run because a lot of what I do now is motivating kids to unlock their potential. So whether it be getting over their fear of the water or learning a new skill, like I have a lot of kids who right now they always say that I'm like the whisperer for the kids of trying to get them in the water. Like if I'm there, we're going to get the kid in the water and we're going to make it a fun experience for them. And that is something I find so much joy in is just, how can I connect with these kids to make a difference in their lives? And there are still, I mean, I know all of my kids' names. And once I see them, I'm like, oh my goodness, hello, how are you doing? Um, and that's what's great about Big Blue is we get the opportunity to build those relationships with the kids. So even on the days that I'm not in water, I get to do that and still help out wherever I can and help kids kind of overcome that fear. And we do, thankfully, here, one of the things that we started a few months ago, we do these promotion celebrations. So anytime a kid moves up, we make a really big deal out of it. So we get a bell, we give a bubble gun, we're making an announcement to all the families. And that is where, oh my gosh, especially if it's one of my kids, I'm like, this is going to make me cry because you finally did it. And it's so exciting. And that brings me back to just being a junior coach and having that same feeling of like, okay, we've overcome this, whether it be, we ran an extra lap or, we discovered something about ourselves today. And so that is something I carry with me every day, especially here. It just gets to, it's like every day.
Oh, that is so, so fitting. And you must make those kids feel so special. And I'm sure part of it probably stems from somebody was like that in your life when you were younger, whether it was your Girls on
Definitely.
the Run coaches, family, someone like that. But you picked up on that and you realized like, hey, this makes me feel really good. And
Mhm.
I'm going to do it for other kids. So you're kind of passing it along.
Yeah, and I remember like one, and this just like came to me. I remember during the like celebratory 5Ks, like all the people that would come out to celebrate everyone there in that community. Like it was insane how many people were there just to cheer you on. And then, I mean, you have a running buddy that gets to be with you and is there to encourage you. And so I just hope I can do that for someone else and just in a different fashion.
Yeah, I love that. That you're carrying it along and just like you said, you're making it work in a different environment, but you're still having the same effects.
Mhm.
Love that. Well, Caitlin, thank you so much for joining us. It has been a pleasure talking to you and hearing about your journey. And although you are no longer a Girls on the Run participant, it sounds like your journey is just beginning and you have a long road ahead of you continuing to inspire kids. This episode of Joyful Journeys is brought to you by Girls on the Run of Northern Virginia.